What's going on, everyone? Okay, so time for the maiden tow voyage of this Texas Pride lowboy 14-foot utility trailer. Done a couple little modifications. I put a power disconnect on the batteries so I don't get that parasitic draw that I was getting on the other ones. Put my really cool little Sidewinder Warn. It's kind of like a shackle style mount for the winch. Replaced the cable with synthetic cable off of a 16,500 pound rated winch. Still plenty of room. You guys should check out the video where we hauled the zero turn onto the back of the trailer using the winch alone. Yeah, we're about to take this thing out because we have to go pick up some landscaping materials. Very cool. Just gonna come back, make sure everything is locked up. Got the pins in place, got the ramps locked in place. Same on this side, pin locked in place. Ramps aren't going anywhere. It's been super windy. I think I say that in just about every video because it's always kind of super windy out here, to be honest with you. I'm gonna disconnect my solar panel right here. We're just gonna move it out of the way. I'll move it a little closer to the dump trailer and we'll load it up. And some people might say, well, why don't you just bring the dump trailer out? Well, dump trailer is kind of occupied right now. Again, we use this to kind of move all the brush and other materials into it. And a lot of folks say, you know what, is your property really that big that you need all this stuff? Well, the reality of it is, regardless of the size of the property here, we use the trailers for other stuff. We got a lot of friends and family. We got a lot of folks that live out in Kingsville. We got a lot of different projects that always require us to bring a piece of equipment somewhere or somewhere else. And as much as I like posting videos every day, not a lot of folks are gonna subscribe if my videos are just all about, you know, mowing grass and using the tractor and taking it out. So a lot of the stuff that I do, you guys may not see. It doesn't mean we don't do it. I still try to keep my channel primarily focused on trucks, RVs, towing knowledge, stuff like that. But I want to keep you guys apprised of kind of the stuff that we're doing out here. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna get this thing hitched up to the truck. I love the fact that it's got the front hydraulic jack right here. This jack leg makes things just a lot quicker. That's all it is. It's just convenience. But, you know, at the end of the day, how much stuff do we get based on convenience, especially if it's gonna, you know, be something that you have to work with later, regardless of this piece of convenience. Anyways, let's go ahead and get everything hitched up and take off. All right, we got everything lined up. Just gotta reconnect my negative terminals here. Love that this is magnetic, so you can just set it back there, lock that in place, locked on, put my pin through right there, get my breakaway connected. Okay, we're gonna feed that through here. Crossing my chains. Okay, so all we need now is 7-way. Okay, everything is connected up here. Chains aren't dragging. Coupler's in place. Battery's connected. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the emergency flasher so we can check our lights. And if you've seen my RV videos, you know what I do. I turn on my parking lights because that's gonna turn on all your surround trailer lights. Then I turn on my hazards because that's gonna flash my lights and that's gonna mimic your brake lights and your turn signals in the back. So back here, both lights are flashing, all my parking lights are on. So we are good to go. I love those lights on the inside right here. It's gonna be interesting to see how they load the pallet back here, given the fact that these ramps kind of extend back about 5 feet when they're down. What's really cool about it though is I can drop the ramp and then just set this part straight down, so it really is only gonna extend about 3 feet off the back. This leg kind of keeps you from being able to swing them down even more. You know, if I could make a change to this design, something I probably would have opted for is not to have these legs here and just have some adjustable jacks that go down right here on the back of the trailer. That way, it takes the material weight of this off, and I'll still have the ability to do that. Plus I could drop the ramps at a more aggressive angle if I ever needed to for whatever reason. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take off, get everything loaded up, and then hit the road. All right, so we are taking off, trailer in tow, making sure everything's moved out of the way, of course, so I don't run over a solar panel again. Actually, that was only because I was looking at my mirrors on a Ram truck I was reviewing. It's a really tight fit through this fence right here, but I've done it probably 100 times now, so I'm pretty confident in my ability to squeeze through. It only clears the mirrors by about an inch on each side, so you gotta be really careful. And then the trailer's got plenty of room because it doesn't have big old elephant ears sticking off the side of it. Got my wife here with me too because she's gonna take advantage of this opportunity to buy some more landscaping stuff.
Yep.
All right, so we made a quick pit stop. One of the biggest challenges of hauling any size trailer behind your truck is when you make a pit stop, making sure that you have enough room for it. So thankfully this parking lot has some pull-through spots, and I'm able to kind of position the truck relatively straight. I'm not taking up too much of the parking area, thankfully. But yeah, we're gonna stop here real quick, and then we'll continue on to Home Depot. Of course, we have to make a Whataburger stop because we're hungry and we haven't eaten, so again, still got the trailer behind me. But there's a bank next door that had a really long driveway area, and since the bank's closed, I have room to park. We're gonna grab some Whataburger and then we'll be heading on our way. Sometimes navigating a Home Depot parking lot in a very congested shopping area can be a bit stressful when you're hauling a trailer. We have to get to this area right here, and it is just a full parking lot day here at Home Depot. So I'm gonna wait for the GMC to move and this car to move, which that one's about to move, and then I'll park right in that area. I might park right on the other side of that truck, actually. It is a madhouse here. So they're going to get all the rocks so we can load it on the back. I'm not going to drop the ramps completely. I'm going to keep them folded up right here just so they kind of sit on the ground, so whenever we get the forklift up, we'll have plenty of room to load it and then push it forward. It's crazy though. It's a big load. But yeah, a lot of people here today. Must be because it's a nice day. So when you have the wrong truck for the job, so that pallet of sod probably weighs close to 2.5 tons in the back of an F-150, and they said, just load it in. Yeah. You know, one of the only things that kind of concerns me about this trailer setup is with that leg sticking down right there, if you compress the suspension on this more than about 1.5 inches, those legs may be stuck to the ground and you might not be able to get them up and out of the way. So we're gonna see what happens. Might be a good excuse to actually remove those and come up with an alternative method if I have to. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. You know, we can push these down a little bit more, like that. It'll give you about 3 more inches. Okay, no dice. Working on round 3. They're taking the forklift around. They say it weighs too much to extend it over these ramps with the forklifts they have. So I got to go over to the commercial loading area. They're going to use a different machine and extend it in and then push it in place. So loading up the ramps again. So this is the material we're getting. 0.5 cubic feet per bag. Got 64 of them, which make up a pallet. Here it comes with a reach. It's crazy how much weight that thing can lift.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, he can get closer even with the ramps up, can he? You can slide underneath them slightly. Want me to lift them up a little bit? You can slide underneath them. There you go.
Right there.
Okay, so we're back. We have, I don't know, maybe half the pallet, less than that right there. Rest of the pallet right here. Maybe some of you guys know exactly how much a full pallet of this stuff weighs. It'd be cool if they put the weight on these bags, but I don't think they do. If they do, they put it in an area that's not really easy to find. You know, it would probably make sense that they put it in a very easy to find location, just so at least you know how much you're loading up. I imagine each one of these bags probably weighs 50 or 60 pounds, somewhere in that range. 64 bags plus the weight of the pallet. Yeah, so about 3,840 pounds if you add it all up, but that's not including the pallet. So let's say the pallet weighs another 40 pounds, depending on the kind of pallet it is. It looks to be kind of a rinky pallet, so that's probably not too heavy, probably about 40 pounds worth of pallet. Yeah, it's not a crazy heavy load, but if you get one of those standard utility trailers that you might typically see parked out in front of Lowe's or Home Depot, single axle, you know, the ones that cost about $2,200 to $2,500 in that range, usually they only have about a 1,500 to 2,000 pound maximum capacity. So, you know, this right here is roughly twice what one of those trailers is designed to carry, not just from a structural perspective, but from an axle and a tire perspective as well. So you always have to factor all of that in. The payload capacity of this, as it sits, is about 8,500 pounds. The real capacity is actually based off the fact that this would typically be a 16,000 pound GVWR trailer, and about roughly 3,200 pounds is going to be what the dry weight is. So yeah, you could carry significantly more weight from a structural perspective, but from a rated perspective, it's at about 8,500 pounds cargo capacity, because we have this thing derated to 12,000 pounds, which is still more than enough for this type of trailer. But yeah, this stuff's not light. It certainly is not fun to handle, but we got it here, happy about it, and got a lot of work. We're going to be putting it around the property. You can see we already bought 20 bags of it right over there, and we have it kind of spread out this way. We're going to add more, then go all the way around the house and all the way around the front. Real quick note, a lot of folks always want me to talk about my watches. You know, I used to be really big into collecting watches probably 10 to 15 years ago, long before my YouTube channel was ever a thing. I stopped doing it, and I kind of started going to G-Shocks as my go-to watches now. I have a few other random watches that I occasionally get, but I don't stomach buying really expensive watches anymore. The watch I'm wearing right now is an Oris. I bought this one about probably about 15 years ago. I got it from a company out of California, and at the time it was like $850 to $1,000 in that range, $850, $900, and I think depending on if you get it with the rubber strap or the stainless strap, it was an additional couple hundred. So I think I paid right under $1,000, maybe $999. The thing right now, I think it's worth like $2,000, maybe, roughly, brand new. I don't know what mine is because it's very well worn. Most of the watches I have, if you see them on my channel, unless it's a G-Shock, they're relatively old watches. I've had them for quite a while, and right now, honestly, I mean, if I get a $600 watch, I'm really happy. You know, I don't spend nearly what I used to spend a long time ago when I was really big into buying Omegas and Tags and some other brands that were, you know, into the several thousands of dollars. I just don't do that anymore. Anyways, just wanted to bring that up. I'm probably not going to do any main segment on watches, so figured I'd get that out of the way. We're going to go and get the trailer unhitched and set up. So it's going to be right here, so we can get the tractor up to the side of it and we can unload these. I might use the tractor to actually haul the trailer closer to where we're going to need the material. That way we don't have to constantly come back and load the tractor. That was the problem we had with the sod. We had to constantly come back and load like 40 pieces of sod onto the tractor, then run back over there, go through it all, stop, come back over here and do the same thing back and forth. And that's really what I think wears you out the most, the having to stop when you have that momentum going. So with this stuff, we're going to just probably pull the trailer over there. I'll just hook it up to the tractor and tow it right alongside the driveway, and then right up here where we want the rock, and we'll just make one trip to it and we'll be done. So the straps on the back, in case you're wondering, they're just 2-inch cargo straps. The reason why I put those on wasn't really to strap this down, because again, bags of marble chips don't roll around. This right here, I had no fear that it was gonna like move around or shift. However, I was more afraid that all this plastic was gonna start going everywhere. So I wanted something to at least secure it down in the major areas. So if it did start unwinding, it would at least get caught by the strap. So that's the main reason I have the strap there. There's a lot of peace of mind when you have rails going around your trailer and you have a gate on the back. Just something about it. Same with the dump trailer. Whenever I have stuff loaded in the dump trailer, I just feel so much less stressed out whenever we're towing something or carrying something. When you have an open deck trailer like this, you always fear, like if you have a mower on the back, that something could happen and things are just gonna slide off the side. On something like this, I mean, with the 3.5-inch tubed rail going all around, plus that huge gate on the back, I mean, I'm not too worried that something's just gonna like break loose and all of a sudden be all over the highway. So that's really nice. Finally, the coolest thing about this trailer, I think, is probably the fact that you got this remote, so I can uncouple the trailer just like that, and I'm done. Uncoupled. That's it. That's all I had to do. That is super cool. That is just, man, just one extra step that you don't have to worry about that just gets done for you really quick. Anyways, guys, we're gonna go and get this thing stationed here for a little while. I'll get the solar panel on it. Probably don't even need to really do that. I'll probably just unscrew these terminals here so we don't have any type of a parasitic draw. Verify that there's no power going to it anymore. And yeah, once I get back where it's gonna live, right up here, I'll hook the solar panel on it, but we're ready to go. Guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. Maiden voyage for the trailer, you know, under 4,000 pounds, roughly 3,900, 4,000 pounds worth of weight max that's been loaded on here. You know, it's not a huge test for the trailer, but it is nice to know that you have a trailer that's capable of it. It's been fun. Yeah, we're gonna, actually I gotta move it a little bit because I'm parked right on my well hose right there, so I'll pull it off of the hose, but pretty cool. Like it. It's worked out well. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.